I decided that, okay, it's time for a change.
I've been trying to be abstinent and stuff and proven that not all women who have babies are sexually available, because it's not true.
I realized that, hey, I'm not perfect, I made a mistake, but the first sign of growth is change.
My boyfriend now really supports my abstinence decision because he feels very strongly about it too.
Everybody can make the decision whether to be sexually available or not. It doesn't matter where you've been, your past, your present, your future. Just as long as you have that in your mind that you want to be abstinent, it can take you anywhere.
So I was willing to change, and I just took the stand and said, hey, I'm going to wait, and if you're not going to wait with me, then you'll wait without me.
I decided that for me, I needed to protect myself. I needed to be emotionally okay, and I decided that having sex outside of marriage just wasn't going to help me be emotionally okay.
Sex took so much more than it was giving, and it was not worth it. So I just had to, have self-control, self-determination, just self-respect for myself.
I have to deal with the pain of having sex before. I've have to deal with the fact that I have a son.
The emotional consequences, even the ones that I faced as a young woman having premarital sex, are so overwhelming. It takes away a piece of you with each partner each time.
And it's not just the act of having sex, it's being intimate with someone, giving all of yourself to someone.
If you haven't waited and you're waiting now, I know that there's some days when you're by yourself and you're used to that companionship of another person, but if the person really loves you, they'll wait for you.
The decision to remain abstinent is hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's not like I still don't have the urges. It's not like I still can't see somebody walking by and I'm like, wow. Or it's still like I don't want that companionship, and it's not like I don't ever get lonely.
To maintain my abstinence, I am focused on my inner beauty. I stay focused. Yeah, I look very hard into my future because I really want the best for me. And I love myself, and so I deserve the best.
As far as sex and the emotional consequences, well, we all know about, the STDs risk and the pregnancy risk, but the emotional state, that's just as serious, because having sex could, for women, it's all about emotional, and we love so quickly and so strong that love could do you in just as bad as an STD. You never know. You're taking a risk then too.
You have to have boundaries. The first rule of abstinence is boundaries. Boundaries. You have to set them out on the first date. Like, hey, I'm abstinent. I plan on staying that way. If you can't handle that, then this was a wonderful date. Have a nice life.
Me and my boyfriend spoke about the abstinence decision. He thinks it's fine. When we do have time for each other, we make sure we're not alone. And my daughter's always with us anyways. We usually go to the movies, out to the mall, or out to eat, when we know not to put ourselves in situations where it's just us two alone together, because we already know that temptation is there and we don't even want to have to face temptations.
I spent all the time thinking about all the guys, and now I'm, focusing on myself for this point in my life and figuring out where I am in my life, where I want to go, and just focusing on myself right now.
Never one-on-one time. I never, put myself in a compromising position, because things happen. People make mistakes. You get caught in the heat of the moment. And so I say, friendship first is always a great idea. To be friends first, and then see what you can build from there. Because even if you don't, build a relationship, you have a friend now.
I can't put myself in a situation where, she comes over to my apartment, we have dinner and watch a movie. It's not gonna happen. I just can't allow that. I can't allow that opportunity to present itself.
As a matter of fact, one called me the other night, and we were talking on the phone, and the conversation just didn't even feel right, because he was just like, oh, what are you doing tonight? You want to come over? And it was late night, and you already know what's going to go on. They calling you late night, wanting to see you. So I was like, no, thank you, I'm fine. Seeing you late at night doesn't work at all.
Oh man, the types of comebacks that I come back with for guys, like, are you a nun? I say yes. And then guys say, oh, you're just lying. Just wait a minute, you just don't know me. Once you get to know me, you'll see, you'll want to. And then I say, well, once you get to know me, you'll see that you still will want to, and I won't.
And if you don't think that there's consequences, you don't have to believe that there's consequences. There's consequences whether you believe it or not.
I had made the decision to take that pregnancy test and tape it to the bedpost in my room for about 6 months to 9 months.
That could be an STD, that could be a child, that could be pain, that could be luggage that you bring into other relationships.
It is the self-confidence and self-control, and to abstain, just be strong and tell these men that I'm worth more than what you expect. You're not going to treat me any kind of way, and you're not going to influence me to do things that I don't want to do.
And then there's sometimes where I just flat out say, hey, look, you can't respect it, you can't be around. The more you do it, the better you become at it. You come up with better excuses for guys. You come up with better things to tell your friends when they say, ugh, you're being abstinent? No, why? You say, hey, that's your thing. I could always do what you do. I could always make the decision to have sex. But the difference between you and I is that I choose not to be. If you get one good friend, if you pick one friend and you both vow to be abstinent with each other, you can call them like, hey, I'm in the bathroom, we're alone. Talk to me out of it.
One of those things is telling people about it. Sitting here in the chair talking to you, and letting the world know that this is my decision and this is what I'm going to stand by. Because it gives you more accountability when someone else says, I seen you say this.
And to see if you have a boyfriend and you guys are sexually active and you say, hey, look, I went through this program with the abstinence plan A, and they were saying some things that really made sense to me, and I think that we should wait. That's the test of love right there.
You might not think your boyfriend thinks you're wonderful, but you are worth more than anything. You're worth waiting for. You're worth waiting for, period.
It's just so much easier to have fun with him and know there's no pressure to have sex. So it's just a lot easier to be in a relationship like that because it's more fun and just really easy.
Just know that having sex is not going to keep him.
You work on yourself and help build up who you are before you get married instead of keep giving yourself off piece by piece before you get married. It's better to work on yourself before you get married and have sex.
The decision to be abstinent definitely made our relationship better.
It's worth it to wake up in the morning and to know that I'm doing the right thing. It's a real peace. It's not having to cry yourself to sleep at night.
The peace of mind is beyond explanation. I feel so much more relieved. I don't have to worry about, hey, I gotta go to the doctor because I don't know if this guy had something and I don't know if the condom broke.
So yeah, it's hard, but it's worth it.
I can do it, and it may be hard on the long run, but I'm gonna do it. I can do this. It's just a whole bunch of self-control.
But anything that's worth something is gonna be difficult.
It's so well worth it. The wait, the reward is priceless.